in DX Fleet, we have various options to export the data. And one of those options is custom export type. So let's look at how we create a custom export template. We're going to go to Transactions, Custom Export. We're going to create a new one. We're going to hit plus. Here, we're going to give it a name. And then we're going to select a file format. So we have XML, Excel, CSV, or text. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and just create a CSV file format. Now, what we're going to have on the left is all the available options that we have for the template that we can create. On the right are going to be the things that we have selected that we want to show up in our template. So we're basically going to move the options we want from the left over to the right. So we do that by selecting what we need. So in this case, I don't really need the organization name because I know my org name. I'm just doing this for my own reference. I only have one site, so I don't need a site ID. But if we did, we could say site ID. I would like to know the site ID. I don't care about the address. I do want the transaction number. I want the date. I want the time. I want the account number. I want the driver and the vehicle number. I want to know the pump. And you're basically selecting any of the options that you want. So prompt, the product, if you want the user entry, so for prompts, if you want, the name, all of this option is available to you. Anything that's in this list is available to you, basically. So once we create this, then we add them to the right. You can reorder what you want to show up first. So if I want the transaction number to be the first thing, I could click this arrow and it's going to move it up. If I want the date and the time to be at the top, and I want, say I want the vehicle before the driver, you could just rearrange these however you'd like. But once you're satisfied with all of the options you have selected and in what order, you can hit save. If you make a mistake and you add something, the same way that we added it from the left by selecting it, hitting the arrow, we could do it in reverse. We could say, take an option off. You select it on the right and you hit the arrow and it'll go to the list on the left and it'll remove from here. So it's pretty easy what you need. And then once you have it, go ahead and hit save. All right. And here is the save option that I have, and it'll give us a brief description of what those options were that we saved. Now we created what, how do we get the data? So we go back over to export data. And here we're going to fill out all of the normal stuff that we need. The site, the account, if we want network transactions, our what we want exported, everything. And now here, instead of selecting a default template, we're going to use our custom template. So we're going to select custom template. We're going to select custom export one that I just created. And then we can fill in all the other stuff that we need, like the date range, the times, 12 o'clock in the morning, a.m., 11:59 p.m., and then we can export that data. Now, when we export it, we're going to get the custom export that we created, and we're going to get only the fields that we've predefined. So depending on how you've created it, will determine the format and the things like that. So that's how you create a custom export template. Again, you can do the same thing in the scheduled task that you can in the manual export data. So you can use template for exporting in a scheduler to do it all the time instead of having to manually generate it. That's how you create a export template.